Hi, I'm Sinara Sina, and this is Voice of Cars, The Forsaken Maiden. This is episode 1 right now, so let's start. Alright, let me just check the options to check the volume is correct. Yeah, everything is set. Alright, so let's start a new game. I already played a little, just like, I don't know, 5 minutes. It's what? Yeah, it's 11 p.m. right now. I was supposed to do it in the afternoon, like, oh yeah, let's just record in the afternoon after work, but I actually felt really tired, which is weird because I slept like, I think was 5 or 6 hours. For me, that's pretty good, but it happens. With age, you start feeling more and more tired, even when you do like almost nothing. Just going out of the house, it's tiring.
Ah, I bid you welcome. I shall be your game master for this tale. It is a pleasure to have you. Now
Thank
then,
you.
just like this, I will be using cards to draw you into the world of this story. From
All
time
right.
to time, you may be presented with choices like this.
Now, when I was playing it, the first time I selected right and it says it was the wrong answer, let's select left.
That's correct. It doesn't mean anything, but still, good job.
To be honest, I was expecting to be like wrong again, but hey, that was a pleasant surprise.
You're following along with all this, I trust?
Yes.
Moving on, I believe your experience of the story will be shaped in no small part by my narration. As such, I hope you'll have rather more fun keeping the sound on while you play.
Thank you.
That said,
I will try.
rest assured that the game remains enjoyable without sound. My words will be subtitled, just as
I
they
make
are
no
now.
I make no such promises, so yeah, display them. Subtitles are important. Let me just make a brief pause to explain why. You may say like, ah, it's okay. I can understand what the characters are saying, or maybe I know the language if in case you're playing it in something like Japanese or whatever. But you gotta keep in mind that if you're recording for someone else, or if you're watching a movie with in the theaters or something, subtitles are important because some people are deaf, and yeah, the fact that they cannot hear, like, yeah, puts a big range on that understanding the language. So yeah, that's why things like subtitles or even descriptive audio, like everything, every little single thing is needed. One of my dreams, if I ever get like really big, is to make videos with like describing what I'm doing, so blind people can watch along. Well, wrong word, uh, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So they can play along with me. Remember, you can always change the settings later
With
in
the
the options.
formalities sorted, we're all ready to begin the game.
Yeah, let's go.
My. Yeah, you can hear the sound of the waves. Oh, how very evocative. Now then, let's begin our tale. Allow me to welcome you to the world of Voice of Cards.
Thank you.
You're about to step into the shoes of the hero of this tale as he sets forth on a grand adventure. Said adventure takes place in a remote part of the sea, in which ancient traditions are alive and well. You will touch the hearts of many who dwell in this place as you journey to change fate's promise of untold ruin.
Yeah, I can handle it.
I believe in you. I believe your journey will be a success. And on that note, it is time for that journey to begin. May the waves see you safely across the tide.
Sorry, I pressed A little soon. Voice of Cards, the Forsaken Maiden.
Our story begins in a secluded grotto. The sound of the waves echoes softly across the rock walls.
Now, my friend Roy, who is a freak. Hi, Roy. I already finished this game. This game came out it came out on Thursday. Today is Saturday. 2 days ago. Yeah, he already finished it. He's a really big fan of games like this, RPGs in general, but he likes Fire Emblem the most. And thanks to him, I already know what to expect. He didn't spoil me anything, but for example, let's go with
A
this
solitary
thing.
young man stands in front of a ship floating in the water. Brush in hand, he busies himself painting the vessel.
He did something wrong, but that's why I will be able to avoid that issue. Before we continue, I got the DLC, so that's why the main character looks like it came from Nier Automata. I got the Nier Automata DLC. Actually, I got all the DLCs. But yeah, the main characters are going to look like, they work for Jorha. And my table and my dice and everything is gonna be Nier Automata team. Don't worry, if you want to see how the main characters look, I'm just gonna place them in the thumbnail so you can look at that. Let's continue.
Once he finishes his work, he decides to carve his name into the side of the hull. A finishing touch.
Sorry, I'm trying to get a lollipop. There we go. Now, pay attention to what the narrator is saying. He wants to carve his name into the side of the hull. Carve the ship's right name. Do you know what a ship's right means? Apparently, it's whoever owns the ship. So that's the name of your character, not the name of the ship. Roy made that mistake. I'm not going to do it. So let's delete this and let's try my name. My name is Sina or Sheena, however you want to say it. There are multiple pronunciations. Yes, Sina is correct.
You carve your name in small lettering into the ship.
Sina.
Oh, a handsome name, that.
Thank you.
This young lad is the hero of our tale, and your window into the world. You're a navigator without a ship, and your soul yearns to set out upon the ocean blue for your own reasons. You have spent a great deal of time repairing the wrecked ship before you, in the hopes of crafting a partner, aboard which you might sail the high seas. The sound of a wooden box tumbling to the ground rips through the grotto. You heave a deep sigh and decide to head over to the source of the racket.
Okay, if you play the first Voice of Cars or if you've seen my playthrough, this game plays exactly the same. Yeah, that is my piece, and to move it, I just use the left stick. Yeah, if I need to check my objectives, I just press X, and everything that glows is to continue the story. So yeah, I can move like this, or like in the first game, I can just jump right straight, like that.
The source of the noise turns out to be a young girl. It looks as though she has knocked over a wooden box, packed with shipbuilding supplies, and is in quite a panic about it.
I really love like the the Yorha design for her. She looks really pretty.
The girl's name is Laddie. You came across her some time ago, collapsed on a beach. You attempted to bring her to a nearby village, but she was quite opposed to the idea for some reason. As such, she has been helping you repair the ship here
Let me guess, she's the Forsaken Maiden.
You're not quite sure how to respond to her knocking the box over.
Yeah, it's okay, don't worry about it.
It's okay, you say in a gentle, reassuring tone. Laddie's worried expression melts away, replaced by one of relief. You move to leave the grotto, saying, I'm going to the village to get some food. Laddie waves goodbye, her forlorn smile seeing you off. The young woman has lost her ability to speak. Neither of you have any knowledge of how she ended up in her situation, and you spend many quiet hours together in the grotto. The scent of the sea and a sense of isolation hang heavy in the air. The island is bound for ruin and has had its name since before any can really recall. This is Omega Isle. You take a deep breath and then set out for the nearby Omega Village, which shares the island's name.
Okay, make your way east to the secret grotto in Omega Village. Yeah, we can check the menu. Now, in the first game, you know, the area where we needed to go was always concealed. And now it glows, so at least they fixed that. That's great. So that way you don't have to go bumbling around. So this is my character. I don't have like much of anything right now, so let's just go. As you can see, I cannot jump into those cars, so I need to do it the old-fashioned way.
You have arrived near the entrance of the village. You spy a shadow skulking about in the midst of a thicket.
Also, sorry if I sound weird. My throat hurts a little, that's why I took out the lollipop. I already talked about these lollipops, they are great. They are basically cough syrup made into a lollipop.
The shadows fall away to reveal a small monster. It's unusual to see one this close to the village. It might be cute, but it's still a monster and a threat. You must slay the beast before it can cause trouble or worse in the village.
So yeah, this is my Yorha table.
And fight!
Now I modified the settings so the battles are gonna be faster. Which is good, because if I remember correctly, the first game didn't have that. That didn't feel fast. I'm gonna check the settings after this. Okay, let's see. Uh, yeah, but how do I access the settings again? Do I need to go back to the... Really? Oh, options, right. It was like this in the first game too. Yeah, high speed. It says, caution. At high speed, the game master will do its best to get through the cars as quickly as possible, though some cars refuse to be rushed. Due to the enormous toll this takes on the game master's body, however, the game may start to act strange. If that happens, please reset the speed to normal. Game speed will also reset to normal upon closing the software. Ah, so that's what happens. Oh, and one more thing, you can always switch the speed by pressing and holding the Y. Oh. Now, I didn't know that because last time I was on my bed, and my bed is, farther from the TV than my work table. I see. So if I press Y, oh, okay, but it doesn't say what kind of speed you're using. Oh well, we're gonna have to guess. See, that was faster.
Gorgeous flower beds burst with blossoms that will one day wilt and wither away, much like Omega Village itself. This is a village that has accepted its fate to be but a moment in time, destined to fade.
Well, to be honest, that's every city, every town, every place you've been in. Have you ever look at pictures of how your hometown or your city looked like before you were born? It looks different, isn't it? And once you're older, it's gonna look even more different. And once you're gone, it's gonna be basically unrecognizable in most cases.
An island in want of a maiden shall fall, he mutters, to no one in particular.
So yeah, the NPCs are the same. I think it's the same art, the same portrait, sorry, as the first game.
This might be the last time I see this flower bed, the boy says, gazing forlornly at the flowers. I wish I got to be the maiden, the girl says mournfully, dressed head to toe in maiden garb, and clearly pretending to be such.
If it wasn't for the descriptions, I wouldn't know.
A lone woman diligently cleans the grounds of the maiden shrine. The windows are closed, and it's too dark to see much inside. All sound seems to fall away.
That's kind of creepy. So yeah, let's go to the elder's house.
You stop in at the mayor's house and discover that he already has a guest. The two are engaged in discussion. You listen in and learn that they are troubled by monsters that have appeared near the village and have been devouring precious stores of food. The villager sighs deeply. I suppose it's about the end for the village, they say flatly before departing the mayor's home. The man left standing in the room has a certain sagacity about him. He notices you waiting and inclines his head in greeting.
I like his design. He looks pretty dignified.
His name is Grief. As the village's mayor, he spends his days dealing with all manner of happenings around town. He looks to be at a loss over the damage being caused by the monsters. It would likely be a simple matter for you to deal with the beasts.
Yeah, sure.
You offer to deal with the monsters, and Grief replies with his thanks. You're always a big help. This is part of your daily routine. You work to sort out the village's troubles in order to procure food to eat.
Okay, so our first quest, let's go. So, by the way, if I played this correctly, this series is gonna just be 5 episodes. Because there are only 5 chapters, and if you remember correctly, the last time I played, the first game, I was basically
A monster
doing...
has appeared before you. It holds what's left of a piece of fruit in its teeth, and its mouth moves restlessly.
I was basically doing one, chapter per episode. So yeah, this game only has 5 chapters, so it's shorter.
With a sigh, you mutter, "Let's get this over with then." and ready your weapon.
Yeah, I know how HP, attack, and defense work. Thank you. If you wanna read the description, just pause the video. Now, another thing I noticed, this guy comes with charge. So I guess the first game also had a problem where, you know, charging was a little harder, so they added it. See, now everything goes faster. Woo! Ouch. Ouch. Let's see if I can kill this one. Yeah! 6! I really like the new game speeds. Yep, that's fast. It almost feels like I'm playing on an emulator or something.
With practiced skill, you swing your weapon. The blade flashes through the monster's throat.
But no, I'm playing, you know, on a Switch. See?
Merciless. Perfect aim. It would appear that you are quite accustomed to killing. You wipe the blood off your weapon. As you do, you notice a shadow in the distance. Another monster, perhaps?
Now, I think this is the point where I stop playing. So, I tried to get close and it ran away. Let's try throw a weapon at it.
You take the weapon on your back and aim it carefully before hurling it at the shadow with great force. It flies toward your target, tracing a perfect parabola. However, the tip of the spear strikes just slightly to the side of the shadow, which runs off. Whatever the shadow was, it was taken aback by your unexpected assault. It looks like it ran off in the direction of the spire near the village.
Oh well, yeah, it happened. The same thing happened with the other option, so. No, I don't need to look at my cards. My HP is okay for now. Yeah, let's go to the spire. Let's slay the spire. Ha 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 ha.
You stand before the spirit spire, said to have been erected to protect the island. Yet with the villagers having accepted ruination, it now stands forlorn, an edifice without a purpose. This place, so named for the spirits themselves, is one that the villagers do not enter. Despite this, you say to yourself, I have to get rid of the monster, and decide to profane the place with your presence.
Alright, so first dungeon. Baby's first dungeon, let's see. It must be just, yeah, a single room. What, no narrator this time? You who enters spirit.
There are some words etched into the door, but they are weathered and difficult to read. Worried though you are about whatever the words might say, you nonetheless try pushing the handle. With some protest, the door groans open.
I don't like how that was worded.
You spy the shadow of the monster you had countered earlier. Your insight that it had taken refuge in the spire has proven a good one. The shadow notices your presence and flies off at blinding speed. You can't help but admire the rapid escape, though it looks like you're back to chasing after a shadow.
Here we go. Let's go to the opposite side now. Okay, I was hoping for a treasure chest or something, but eh. Sorry, I just must uncover all the spaces. That's my OCD acting up. Oh, it has a second floor. Fancy.
You survey your surroundings, relying on the shafts of sunlight filtering in through the windows. However, you're unable to see the monster from where you are.
This floor looks weird. Well, it's floor, so let's continue. Oh,
In the back of the large hall, there is an altar, which evinces a sense of deep mystery. The altar is wrought of a strange kind of stone, its surface polished smooth. It looks as though it's meant for use in some important ritual. You approach the altar to check that there are no places for monsters to hide themselves away inside it. In reply to the mysterious and unidentifiable voice that suddenly rent the silence, you ask in a sharp tone, "Who's there?"
I
You
spirit.
strain your ears, trying to make out the broken snippets of words echoing off the chamber walls.
Lati.
After speaking a word that rings familiar to your ears, "Laddie," the voice becomes impossible to hear. It cannot be. Could you truly have heard the voice of the spirit from the maiden's myth passed down on the island? All signs of the monster you were in pursuit of seem to have vanished. For the time being, you decide to return to the village and report your success.
Oh, so that's the area where I needed to be?
What in the world could that voice have been?
Well, let's just, look around. It's not a big room or anything, so might as well, right? Besides, if we need to go back here later, at least I'll have everything uncovered. And there doesn't seem to be any monsters, so hey, it's a win-win. There, everything uncovered, there wasn't anything, let's go. Okay, is my voice recording? Yes. Ouch. Wait. Much better. Also, same with the first game, I'm gonna grind a little off screen. Now, according to Roy, there is no like big item you have to buy. Well, you have the option to buy like that super fancy sword on the first game. He told me that the most expensive item he found was like 8,000 pieces of gold.
When you arrive at the mayor's house, there is a young visitor already there. She looks to be making an impassioned request of Grief.
I really like, that NPC. I just like her look of disdain. Also, she's really pretty.
In a wearied voice, Grief replies, "There is no longer any maiden in our village." Admonished, the girl leaves the house with disappointment written across her expression. You inform the mayor that you've taken care of the monsters around town. As thanks for completing the job, the mayor hands you a basket of fruit.
Oh,
Oh,
delicious.
good, you think to yourself. Another day, another basket of fruit.
Don't be an asshole. As you encounter various cards during your adventure, they add to your collection in the menu. You can read special stories about the characters. Alright. Progress through the adventure and defeat the enemies in your path. Collect every story. Actually, yes, I want to view my collection because I want to read the. Let's see. The Village Girl. Yeah, you. Plain girl. She grew her hair out, though her mother said it looked best short. Actually, I like it long. She wore platform shoes, though her father said they were dangerous. She longs to be all grown up. Oh wait, she isn't like, you know, older. Oh, uh, this is awkward. Still, I like her design and her looks. Alright, no many cards. That's good. Also, no number cards like in the first game. I guess that only works once. Yes, I know how to jump. I've been doing it like all of this time.
You re enter the grotto and announce your return. On a normal
Honey!
day, Laddie would already have zipped over to greet you. But today, nothing.
Again, honey, I'm home.
You walk over to Laddie and discover that she is sound asleep. Life in the grotto is not one of creature comforts. Rather, a fair few inconveniences. You've tried several times to bring Laddie to the village, but she was adamantly opposed on every occasion. You sometimes catch glimpses of her face while she sleeps. Always it is contorted in anguish, as though she is in the throes of a terrible nightmare.
Damn.
You notice a bulky book lying open next to Laddie, filled with carefully drawn words and images. It seems to be some kind of picture book that Laddie made herself. You know, I confess,
Oh, I didn't mean to. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, let's take a peek.
unable to overcome your curiosity, you decide to take a look at the picture book. Beside evocative images of deep forests and towering mountain ranges, Laddie has written a story patterned after the maiden's myth. The picture book story is set in a small village replete with nature. The village enjoys the promise of peace and tranquility, thanks to the young woman born to be the maiden. The maiden goes before the altar to perform a ritual, which invokes the power of a great spirit to protect the village. You look over the artwork, a spitting recreation of the altar you saw in the spire, and think back on the mysterious voice. The voice claimed it was a spirit, and you're certain it spoke Laddie's name. You are so caught up in the thoughts racing through your head that you fail to notice Laddie had awakened.
Whoops.
Laddie seems embarrassed that you've seen her book. Tears prick the corners of her eyes.
Oh, come on. That wasn't my intention. Don't cry, please.
If Laddie were indeed the maiden, it would be no exaggeration to call her the very light of hope, a protective force that could save the island from its encroaching ruin.
Don't tell me the maiden has to sacrifice herself or something like that.
With faint expectation tightening your chest, you consider taking her to the altar in the spire.
May I remind you, this is a Yoko Taro game, and those don't know, like those almost always end up in a tragedy or something bad happening. Although the last Voice of Cards did have a good ending, so why do I have to? Whatever.
You've given Laddie some of the fruit you brought back. She dreamily stuffs some of it into her mouth. Maybe she likes it. You hope so. Your stomach rumbles as you watch her. And together, the two of you enjoy a light meal.
Oh, so I bribe her with fruit to join me. Nice. Okay, let's see here. Okay. She has less defense, a little less attack and HP, but more speed. So yeah, like Melanie on the first game. Oh wait, I'm level 2. That's right, so... Well, let's see what happens when she levels up and compare. Okay, to the altar. While exploring the world and diving deep into dungeons, you will encounter enemies which you must do battle. If your adventure will be over... Ah, okay, yeah, so boss battles. You can continue from your last checkpoint. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's just check that the autosave is activated. Yeah, it's activated, but let's make our first save just in case. Okay, we have been playing for almost 40 minutes. Let's see how much longer does this introduction last.
You take Laddie with you and return to the spire. As you approach the entrance of the spire, the staff that Laddie clutches close begins to emit a faint light.
I really like the staff design. I wonder if it's like that by default or is it because I have the Jorha equipment pack. I mean the Jorha skin pack.
Seeing the mysterious light, you are convinced Laddie has a deep connection to the spire. Her expression uneasy. Laddie takes hold of your sleeve with a tentative touch.
Okay, let's go, laddie. Whoop.
You stand before the altar once more, bathed in an air of mysticism. The light emitting from Laddie's staff intensifies, as if indicating its destination.
Excellent, the maiden.
In response to the enigmatic voice, Laddie's staff exudes a dazzling light.
Ah, my eyes.
A spirit appears right before your eyes. Well,
What?
maybe it's a spirit? It's some kind of strange stuffed animal.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. That's one of the Jorha drones. It took me completely by surprise, to be honest. I am the spirit, cough, cough.
The stuffed toy seems to be affecting a voice of considerable gravitas and choking itself in the process.
Oh, okay, so I think I know what kind of voice I need to make. And again, if you want to see the original artwork for the game, just see the thumbnail.
This creature is called Lack. Though you cannot be certain it speaks the truth, it claims to be a spirit. You approach, hoping to ask about the maiden. But with blinding speed, Lack zooms behind Laddie, putting her between you as a shield. You're the one from before, Lack says, quaking. It would appear that you're mistaking the creature for a monster, and doggedly chasing after it has made it rather afraid of you.
Whoops, sorry. Yeah, the fruit.
You hold out an offer of reconciliation, and Lack takes it and immediately starts munching away. Between bites, it says, "You've got some good taste there." You're not really sure if the make good worked out, but in any event, Lack looks willing to listen to you now. You ask about the maiden once more, and Lack begins to talk a lot. It seems to enjoy doing so. Just as the maiden's myth handed down amongst the denizens of the island suggests, it explains, Laddie was indeed born to be the maiden here.
Like, the design looks so funny because the little what is it, pipe that he has on his head looks like a top hat.
However, she was unable to take up her role. This has caused no small amount of distress over the island's inevitable destiny to sink beneath the raging waves. Lack concludes with a proposal. How's about you go and meet with the other maidens and fetch the maiden's relics? As you had hoped, Laddie appears to be the key to the island's salvation.
Yeah, this is one of the most important
If
questions.
Laddie becomes a maiden and performs the maiden's ritual at the altar, the island can be saved.
Yeah, but what's the maiden's ritual?
This island is not the only one home to a spirit. There are islands throughout this archipelago, and upon each dwells one of the 4 maidens who govern their own spirit.
Okay, so one chapter per maiden, and the final chapter where I face the final boss or whatever.
The self-proclaimed spirit explains that if you bring the maiden's relics that each of these maidens possess back to this spire, Laddie will be able to become a maiden herself. Laddie shows the staff in her hand, wearing an expression that seems to say, "This is a maiden's relic."
Oh, by the way, I finally reached 100 subscribers, and I'm really happy about that. One of my videos, one of the Pokemon Legend Arceus ones I made about lore Pokemon, has been doing pretty good. It's almost, I think, almost at 3,000 views at this point, and people are actually, leaving comments and stuff like that, and I'm pretty happy. I'm gaining likes. I mean, gaining subscribers. Things are finally looking up. So I've been in a pretty good mood lately. Also, I already got the new phone. Well, I still need to have it delivered to me. That will take some time because, my mom is supposed to be the one who's gonna give it to me. She cannot just mail it to me. So that's gonna take some months, but hey, the thing is already, bought.
You ask, should we kill the maidens and steal the relics? Laddie shakes her head rapidly, as if to insist that you definitely should not do that.
Okay, that's good.
As Lack explains, each maiden has an attendant, an escort, and protector. This would make it difficult to take the relics by brute force.
Ah, but that's an option then.
The world-changing immensity of what you have just learned echoes in your mind. It takes you a little while to fully digest it.
You know what would be cool? If the game gave me the option to take stuff by force, and that, created an additional story branch where I become evil, and everything just gets harder. Like, maybe the other maidens start preparing after they hear, one of the maidens was attacked and their weapon was stolen or killed. The maiden, not the weapon. And the game just becomes increasingly more difficult, and the narrator just becomes frustrated with you to the point he starts insulting you or stuff like that. I think will be pretty cool.
But it does just so happen you've been readying a seaworthy vessel for your own purposes.
Because as far as I can tell, I don't remember any game that had a narrator where you turn evil and the narrator, starts getting angry at you and admonishing you for your actions. It doesn't really go like that. If I had, more tech savviness and making games, yeah, I would make something like that. The narrator could even be, one of the bosses or even the final boss. Like that, once you defeat whatever you have to defeat and you're about to claim the throne or whatever, the narrator steps in, tired of, you being an asshole, and does his best to stop you.
You accept Lack's proposal to help Laddie become a maiden.
But, like, not appearing as a character, like literally using his voice to attack you, his narration powers. Like he starts narrating, and then a bunch of monsters appear on the horizon and start attacking the will-be hero. And you have to, avoid the monsters and try to silence him somehow. Okay, now like, yeah,
So,
let's see.
you want me to poof you back to the entrance?
Thank you.
You decide to make for the spire's exit.
Okay, before we go to the village, sorry. Uh, okay, he has more HP, I guess. I was expecting that. Let's see.
Fight him off.
Yes, I know how gems work. Thank you. Also, she can also generate gems, so that's good. Oh, come on! Ouch. Oh, so everyone can do it now. That's cool. Come on. Ow. Some of your attacks are elemental in nature. The 6 elements are fire, water, ball, wind, light, and dark. Cards take more damage from elements they are weak to. Yes, yes. They resist some. Knowing your enemy's weakness. Yeah. Alright. Ouch. Thank you. Bye. Already? Okay, 3 attack. Deal damage equal to the value of 3 rolled dice. Oh, I like that. Oh, she only increases her HP. That looks a little more decent. Flick, attack. Okay. Alright, let's go to the village now.
Accompanied by your new allies, you make to enter the village. But Laddie seems to find something about this idea disagreeable and clings to a tree nearby, refusing to budge.
Yeah, I had my suspicions.
Oh, I got this one, says Lack, evidently with some kind of plan in mind. The fluffy creature begins to chant a sort of mysterious spell.
Wuna waka, wuna waka!
Suddenly, Laddie's face is transformed into that of an odd old man's.
My eyes! Jesus Christ, that's horrible!
Laddie touches her transformed visage and then gives a thumbs up, perhaps as if to say, "Good job." You are agog, but Laddie looks sideways at you as she walks into the village, her identity now safely hidden.
Okay, let's go. Oh, Jesus, that was nightmarish. Well, at least she looks normal in my party. Jesus, Jokotaro, why? Why would you do that to me? I love your work. I loved your big titties got ladies.
This
Why
is
would
your
you
home.
must do that to me?
A desk pushed up near the wall is adorned with an unfurled map and a scattering of books. The navigation map is of your own design and depicts the various islands in this region of the sea. It contains information on the maidens of those nearby islands, culled meticulously from books and the tales of passing travelers. Before all of this, you had found yourself unable to merely sit and watch the village's decline, and so planned a voyage to seek aid from the maidens of the other islands. After popping into the back room, you emerge with a carefully polished ship's wheel and present it to your companions. It is the final piece of the ship you restored at the grotto. With it, you will finally be able to set sail on the voyage you have dreamed of for so long. You have made ready for the voyage, but before you set sail, you decide to stop in at the mayor's to say your farewells. Greeth's eyes fall over the unfamiliar face behind you. And who do we have here?
Um. No, I cannot be that cruel. A traveler.
You respond, a traveler, weary from a long journey. Greeth looks upon her with sympathy. Changing the subject, you explain to the mayor that you'll be leaving the village for a little while on a voyage to save the island. You felt sure that the mayor, with his love of the village, would see you off with a smile. And yet the moment you explain that you found a maiden who can save the island, his attitude changes like the fickle sea winds, and he voices opposition to your journey. This island is destined to meet its end, he says. You can practically sense him digging his feet in. You cannot fathom why he, the mayor of the village, would believe something like that. Though each of you hold the island in your hearts, you cannot reconcile the difference of opinion. Like lovers going their separate ways after an acrimonious spat, it looks as though you will be setting out on bad terms. You believe that your desire to save the island will prove to be the right perspective.
Well, that was a little ominous, but I think we're okay. Should I go to the weapon shop? I think I can make it with what I have for now.
Your ship, your trusted companion, once a mere wrecked husk that you labored to bring back to life with months of sweat and toil. You climb up to the stern, and with every bit of care you can muster, you attach the wheel. The final stroke upon the canvas. At last, your ship is finished.
I don't know, that doesn't look finished at all.
The vessel's design is patterned after a great whale. There are a number of mismatched parts, but that particular quirk only makes you love it all the more.
If you say so.
As you look over your handiwork, you realize that your companion on this upcoming journey will need a name. What would a fitting name be, you ponder?
Hmm. Let's ask for Laddie's opinion.
Laddie tears a page from her book and then scribbles a name down on it. In her small handwriting is written, The Bon Vent. According to Lack, the words are a kind of prayer in the language of the spirits for safe passage when bidding one farewell on a long journey. A farewell said before long journeys. The words could make a fitting appellation for your ship. You're unsure of just how much you ought to trust Lack or his skill with words, but nonetheless, decide to go with Laddie's suggestion. Together, you load up the Bon Vent with the necessary provisions. Preparations for your departure are now finished.
The way they pronounce it sound like bonbon. That word means marshmallow in Spanish. Delicious marshmallow. Okay, yeah, let's wait
You
anchor.
throw
Let's
your
go.
hands upon the ship's wheel and shout, Weigh anchor with gusto. Your voyage has begun.
All right. Okay. Spirits dwell upon an archipelago surrounded by sparkling seas. It is on this island that maidens guarded by their something something, the spirits have helped them keep the island safe since time immemorial. Yet one of these isles lacks a maiden and can do nothing but awaits his ruination. A young seafarer searching for a way to save his home meets a mysterious maiden who has lost both her power and her voice. A self-proclaimed spirit tasks them with gathering the maiden relics. And so they sail to see the isles and meet the maidens, I guess it says. The tale of departure, Finn. Alright, we've reached the finish. We reached the ending, sorry. And we're about to hit the 1 hour mark, so hey, we're doing pretty good. Let's just wait until we can
Though your ship had long since forgotten the taste of seawater,
save again.
it nonetheless cuts through the waves like a fillet knife through fresh fish. It is your first sea voyage. Laddie's eyes glitter as she looks out at the horizon, stretching ever onward over the endless blue expanse. She opens up your homemade navigation map, checking the locations of the islands where the other maidens live. On the island to the south of here lives a beauteous maiden garbed in azure robes, as though the sky itself is wrapped around her. After closing up the map, you grasp the wheel like a familiar old friend and tell the ship where you'd like to go.
The way her shadow is presented makes it look like she has a pincer arm, like a crab. Is she crab, people? I'm just kidding. I know that's not her hand.
You now have free rein to sail across the sea as you see fit. New tales await you when you put into port on an island where a maiden dwells.
Venture south of Omega Isle and search for the island's entrance. Now that your ship is complete, you can sail the seas. Your piece will automatically change on land or sea. Thank you. So, will the game tell me where do I have to go, like it did before? Will the piece of land I'm looking for will be marked? 'Cause that's my question. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so between episodes, since I can stay here, sorry, since I can stay here, I will unlock this whole map and see what's in here. If I find something, I'll be sure to tell you. And by the time of the next episode comes, my levels will be different and stuff like that. But for now, that's gonna be it. So anyways, enjoy the video, leave a like, have something to say, comment down below. One more, please subscribe. Is this video ending? You can bet it is. So I thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.